Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about virtual machines and how to install one on Linux. So first let me just open a text editor, that will be better. So a virtual machine is a VM. So it's essentially a machine inside a machine. So what does this mean? So normally you have a machine. Let's say my Linux machine, or you might be having a Windows machine, or somebody else might be in a macOS machine. So those are operating system. They are utilizing the hardware capabilities, that is memory, processor, network interface cards, etc. So sometimes you want to have another machine which is running some other operating system. Like you might be having macOS but you want to run Windows, or you might be having Windows and you want to try something on some Linux operating system. So for that you actually can't buy another machine. So for that you can use the power of virtualization to create a virtual machine. So to create a virtual machine you need something called hypervisor. So hypervisor is a module, or say a program which is used to basically virtualize your hardware for a virtual machine. So there are two types of hypervisors, type 1 and type 2. So type 1 is basically the enterprise version. So what does it mean? So hypervisor can either run directly on your hardware, or it can run on a host operating system. For example, you might be running Windows and you want to run virtual machine inside that. So for that you will need a type 2 hypervisor. While the type 1 hypervisor is generally for the enterprise people who have like big servers and they want to run multiple virtual machines on that. So for Windows there are many hypervisors like VMware and VirtualBox. In Linux, VirtualBox do come, but it has its own side effects. In place of that, we will use something called Virtual Machine Manager. It is a really good hypervisor because it uses the libvirt, KVM. KVM is the kernel-based virtual machine, and the QEMU. QEMU is the emulator. So it utilizes the native libraries of Linux to create the virtual machine. So we'll be installing that. To install that, you can just do sudo apt install virt-manager. So this will install the virtual machine manager. So let me just open the virtual machine manager. Yeah, this is the virtual machine. So this is how the virtual machine manager interface looks like. Let me zoom in probably. So yeah, so this is how the virtual machine manager looks like. I have many virtual machines over here. So let's try to set up a new virtual machine. So to set up a new virtual machine, you need to click on this icon here, this one. So you click on that. So maybe you want to install from an ISO or some CD-ROM. So to create a virtual machine, you first need to get an ISO. So ISO, I will show you what is it. So for Ubuntu Server, you need to get the ISO, Ubuntu Server ISO download. So you just do that, and then probably the first link which you'll get will be the one. So you need to download this. So this will basically download the ISO file. So you can just close this. So once you have the ISO, you can install a virtual machine system. Basically, like we are talking about Linux. So yeah. So we need to do local and industrial media. You can also network by using the download link, or you can import an existing disk image. We will do forward. Now we need to browse our ISO. So when you do browse, so you will locate your ISO and then choose it. So I already have it here, Ubuntu Server this. It has already detected it is a Ubuntu machine. So automatic detection. If it doesn't work, you can choose your own. And if it is some Linux machine which is not detected, you can just do generic Linux machine. So we need to set up the memory and CPU requirements. For initially, it knows that Ubuntu needs 4 GB of RAM, but it's a server machine, so it needs 1 GB in general. Two virtual cores are good. So later on we will change the RAM to 1 GB, but for install purposes 4 GB is like good RAM. Next is we need to set up the virtual hard disk. So either you can create a disk image over here, or you can create a custom. So we will just do a custom one, and then we will do manage. So in manage, I can create pools. So I already have a pool here. So I will create a new volume here, which I will call Ubuntu _server and then 6. So and I will allocate 10 GBs, and then we don't need to allocate the entire volume now. And then the format is QCW. So QCW is QEMU copy on write. It's a good format. We can also do raw also. So but raw has performance, higher performance, but QCW has overall better benefits. So we will just choose this virtual machine and choose this pool volume. Choose volume. Then we will do forward. Now we need to name our virtual machine. Ubuntu Server 6, that we will name. We will customize the install configuration for install, and then network is default as virtual network, using net. Then we will just finish. There are multiple more options for network, so like default ones are like fine, they will work. Then we will finish, and then we will go to the memory options, and then we will enable the shared memory. When you are running many virtual machines, this will essentially reduce the memory overload. Yeah. So there we have a lot of settings. You can like play around with those and see which ones work best. So by default it will work very well. So we will now click on begin installation. So it is creating virtual machine. Yeah. So we'll just do enter. To get out of this screen, we will left control and left alt. So A button. We must also do view, then scale display always. That helps a lot. So this is a virtual machine here. It's running. So this is how Ubuntu Server installation process looks like. So we have to choose a language, English, yes. Then we will have to choose a keyboard layout, English, US, done. Then you have to choose what installation you want, Ubuntu Server or the minimized one. So we'll just do the default, done. Then it checks for our internet connection and the IP, so it has already done that. Then if we have proxy, we can enter that here, done. And then mirror address default, it chooses done. Then we will use the entire disk, and we will not set it up as LVM group. You can set it up as LVM group. So we will now do done, then done. Then we will just continue. So we will just set up our machine for now. Then server 6 is our machine server name. We will just set up our username for now. Then our password, and then confirm our password, and then we will do done. We have to we want to install OpenSSL server. So we will choose that, and then we'll do done. Then we don't want any of these servers, but you can have one. So we will just do done, and then it will install our Ubuntu server on this machine. Let's wait for it to install. It will be done in a few minutes. So it is indeed complete now. So we will now reboot the system. Reboot now. It will reboot. So it is waiting for us to press enter. So to unmount the CD-ROM. Once done, it will reboot. In the first reboot, it will basically set up the whole system and then set up the SSH keys and stuff. So let's wait for it to reboot. It will only take a few seconds though. So we can now log in, but let's set up all the system things it needs to do. So once done, we can now enter our login username and then its password. So it is now logged in, as you can see. So from my previous videos, I have set up a apt proxy server. So we'll just install sudo. We'll just install auto proxy, sudo install auto -apt -proxy. So this helps in caching the apt files. So once it's installed, we'll update the system. So it is installed. So now sudo apt update. This is working for now. Our proxy server. Now we will just do sudo apt upgrade. So upgrade the system. Then we will do yes. As visible, it used the proxy server, so it was pretty fast. So it is upgraded. So you might want to know its IP address and other things. So we'll just go to overview and then we'll go to NIC network interface card. Here we have its IP address 192.168.22.22. That's the local IP address. So that's all. We will now to shut down system. We will just click on this button and just go shut down command. Let us shut down. We will change its memory to 1024 MB, that is 1 GB. So it has changed. So now our virtual machine is up and running. Similarly, you can set up other virtual machines like Kali Linux, Raspberry desktops, and Ubuntu desktop, Poco's desktops, Manjaro, Arch, etc. And the virtual machine works. You can also do Windows virtual machines and Mac virtual machines, which I will do in later videos. And that is all for this video. Thank you.